Hi, my name is Glenn Gear. I'm an artist and an animator based here in Montreal. I'm originally from Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and I come from Inuit and settler ancestry. My father is Inuk, originally from a place called Alatuk Bay in Nunatsiavut, that's northern Labrador. And my mom is settler with English and Irish ancestry, and she's from the island from a place called Wesleyville, which is on the east coast. I'd like to welcome you to the Paper Puppet Workshop, where we'll make this little articulated bear, this little black bear, and in the second part of the tutorial, we'll animate the bear through a program called StopMotion Studio. So I'll walk through sort of the basic settings of StopMotion Studio with you. So welcome. So you'll just need some paper fasteners, a pair of scissors, a thumbtack or push pin, and your printed out puppet. So you can download this PDF and print it out either on heavy paper or cardstock. And we're going to carefully cut out each piece, use a thumbtack to create little guide holes for each of the joints, and then use these paper fasteners. You can find these in any dollar store or stationery place. They're pretty common. You can get the smaller ones, which I like to use. You can get those on Amazon. So let's begin. So you want to carefully cut out your pieces. Again, just take your time with this. Now, I like to keep the legs and the arms separate, just to make it a little bit easier. All right. So now that you have your pieces all cut out, what you can do is take your push pin or your thumbtack and basically just puncture the holes that are marked on each segment. And again, you're just creating a guide hole to help the paper fasteners go through. So there you go, that's one joint. The same with the other foot. But as you can see, all of his joints are now articulated. Now that we have our puppet made, we can go on to the second part, which is actually putting him into a scene and animating him. Hello, this is a brief introduction to StopMotion Studio. This is an app that you can download for Android or iOS. It's pretty inexpensive, and there's a free version if you just want to try it out. So what I'm going to do is go through the interface with you and do a simple little animation to kind of get you familiar with the idea of stop motion animation and to get you used to this program. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, start a new movie. And this is the basic interface. It's pretty minimal. I'm just going to hit the question mark right here. This will give you a list of all the button labels. So you have the back button here, voiceover, add images, audio, credits, settings. If we go into settings, we'll find that we have a list of icons here. This is the speed. That's the speed of your animation in frames per second. You're next to it. These are transitions that you can use, different formats, square, super wide, vertical. Also have overlays, which you can use, sort of frames and different elements, filters, SDHD or 4K, and finally last, it's play as loop. Timeline, so the timeline is right down here. Play button, undo, and capture. You're going to spend most of your time in capture. So let me just turn off this and let's just jump right in. So you can see here, I have my little bear. Down at the bottom here, we have, these are the camera settings. You can go into more details with regards to your particular phone. If you want manual control over things like white balance, exposure, those sorts of things, there's your sort of granular control. For now, I'm just going to leave it on auto since this is a quick tutorial. Just press done. Basically what we can do, we can start moving around our puppet. Press the red button, take our first image, maybe move this little guy a bit, take another image. This will really help you in animation. This little toggle right here, it sort of like creates a ghost of the previous frame. It's what we call onion skinning. Now it comes from onion skin paper, which a lot of artists use and a lot of animators use in the past. It's like a tracing paper. It helps you to see your previous lines, and it helps you estimate sort of how far or how much deviation you're going for in terms of your movement. So it's a really important concept. I would say turn it on and keep your ghost a little bit lighter. Now, animation is very slow, so it's very incremental. The best thing that I can say is to just get a feeling of how fast or slow things are moving. So you can see here I'm not moving this guy very much. Take another picture, take another picture, take another picture. Now I do have this set up so that my smartphone is pointing straight down and it's attached to this somewhat wobbly tripod. You can do this handheld if you want something sort of more jittery. It's really up to you as to what aesthetic you want. You can also get someone to help you with camera, someone to hold the phone maybe while you focus on the animation, and that's a good way of working. So you can see frame by frame, sort of getting this guy moving. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Who knows? If you want to see what your animation looks like, you can press the little button above it that gives you sort of a ghost view, or you can press the back button and you'll see you have all your frames that you've created. Now this is really good for sort of testing out your animation. If you want to delete a frame, say if you have your fingers in the shot or something like that, you can delete those frames, and that's something that just requires a little bit of editing. So you can click and hold, you can cut and copy, paste different frames, and once you complete a scene, you can exit out. It will save all of your files. There, my first movie, you can rename that, but you can also tap it to go back in and pick up from where you left off. One of the things that is important in terms of the interface is also the time increment. Right now, like I said, I had it set at 12 frames per second. That's usually the time base that I work from, and that's a traditional animation time base. But you can set it, I think the default is probably 6. You can also go back and change the time increment of your animation. It's more getting a sense of how animation operates and getting a sense of timing. And that's not something that I can really show you in a video tutorial. That's something that you need to explore, and you need to trust yourself to make the mistakes, to figure it out as you go. After you've finished your animation, you can simply click back, press and hold, and you'll get another menu, and here you can export your movie. You can save it to the internal memory, save it as an animated GIF, a flipbook project, what have you. Ta-da! So there you go with the bear. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks very much. That's basically it.